Sri Gurubhyo Namaga children, you are welcome for online class, class 11. It is the poem, second part. We are doing Macavity, the Mystery Cat by T.S. Eliot. The poet T.S. Eliot has so beautifully describes the chapter in this poem, such minute and details of his look of the Macavity and the behavior of the Macavity, and makes us really feel, does the character really exist now? So here the Macavity is a character, an imagination character. We'll wonder how he had made it and really will think any cat is like that. So that will be in our mind. So such a creative thing the poet had created. And this only poem is made for the children. Other novels and other things and all he made for all categories. And this poem, the Bosom Book of Cats, it is for the kids he had written for the children, and really it is very entertainment for the children. Okay, so Macavity the Mystery Cat is a humorous poem. Instead of using human as the main character, the poet uses the cat and attributes human qualities to it. He describes Macavity as a mysterious cat of extremely villainous. Characterization in this poem: this cat is known by the hidden paw. So in the previous stanza, the first stanza, we saw that it got a name, a hidden paw. You know, the animal's palm is known as paw, and you know, when any lion or tiger or anything, any animal which is moving in the jungle will be just finding their footprint and will be think that whether that animal is there. With the footprint of the animal, we will be identifying which animal it is. So here this cat is walking in such a way, never gives his footprint, and it never gives any proof that it is a villainous cat. So intelligent cat, and it will be doing all the criminal activities and it will be escaping from the place. Okay children, we saw that Macavity is a mystery cat, is called the hidden paw. So you know that it is an hidden paw. So it is an hidden paw, and so your defi means disobey. It will be always disobeying the law. Is the bafflement. Bafflement means confusion of the Scotland Yard and square despair. So here the Scotland Yard and the square disappeared. So despair. Despair means here they will be having sad. Why they are sad? Because the criminal cat will be disappearing, it will be vanishing, it will do the criminal activities and it will not be there, and it will be just moving away, and so the police or the officials or the investigator who is doing that investigation will be always sad. They will not be happy to catch it. There won't be any proof at all, so they will be very much worried. For when they reach the scene of the crime, Macavity is not there. So crime will be happen, but their criminal will not be in that place. So like in some movies, the villain or hero will be doing all the robbing, burglar, bank corrupt, and so many things they will be doing. They will be robbing in the bank also, but they will not have a witness or proof to prove that he is a criminal. So same the Macavity is doing. So it is very clear children. We will move to the next stanza. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. He has broken every human law. He breaks the law of gravity. His powers of levitation would make a fakir stare, and when you reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. So here in this second stanza, it shows how good or in escaping the Macavity is. So you see, Macavity is, there is no one like Macavity. So no one will be compared to Macavity. Macavity is equal to Macavity. And he broke in every human law. So it will not obey the law. It will be just disobey the law. It will be breaking, disobey the law. And it breaks the law of gravity. So here you know that we have earth, when we are standing in the earth, or when we are standing in the moon will be sleeping mode will be, and will be just our body will just make, and it will be float in the air. But here in the earth we have gravitational force, so we will be standing. So here it will be just, you know, that this Macavity will be having a power called levitation. That is, levitation is a power, it will be just floating in the air. So its powers of levitation. What is levitation? Levitation is nothing but a power. So a power of floating in the air. So it will be having that and would make fair. So fakir is a person, a saint will just stay. So a saint who lives alone, all alone in the world, and he'll not even interested for money or for any relatives. They'll be just leading a poor and a happy life, and they will be wondered. They'll be doing yoga and they'll be doing so many things. But they'll be wondered by Macavity's levitation. So levitation means it will be floating on the air. So you know that after just looting something, it will be floating and it will be escaped from the place. And this will be stare. Stare means they will be stunned, surprised, and they will be looking with the eyes. How this is possible by Macavity and not myself? That will be the mind of the fakir, that is of the saints. And when you reach the scene of crime, so when you reach the scene of the crime, Macavity is not there. So Macavity will not be there. In the place where the crimes are taking place, in that place, Macavity will not be there. So it is very clear, children, you understand. The second stanza tells that Macavity will be just escaping from the place. It will be not be in that place, it will be just escaping, and when it is escaping, it will be not giving any proof for the police or for the CIB or investigator, whoever doing that, or any private agency. No one could find the proof of his criminal activities. So such a clever minded this Macavity is. Okay, we will move to the next stanza. Okay. You may seek him in the basement, you may look up in the air, but I tell you once and once again, Macavity is not there. Macavity is a ginger cat, is very tall and thin. You would know him if you saw him, for his eyes are unsunk in. So here it is very clear that you may seek him in the basement. Basement means underground. Basement means underground. You can search him in the underground, it will not be there. It will be there, but when you are going and searching, it will not be there. Seek means search. When you search him in the basement, underground, you will not find. You may look up in the air, but when you want to go and find it, you will not see. So such a criminal cat it is. But I tell you once and once again, Macavity will not be there. So Macavity is a ginger cat. What do you mean by ginger cat? You see, in a ginger, the color, brown color, that will be the color of the cat. The cat will be like a ginger color. So it is a ginger cat. So it is a metaphor here. He is very tall and thin. How the cat will be? It will be tall and thin. It will be very thin and tall. You would know him if you saw him. So you will be knowing the cat if you saw him, because its eyes all will be sunken in. So his eyes will be sunken in. It will be inside. The eyes all will gone inside and it will be sunken in. So it is very clear, children. Okay, shall we move to the next stanza? Okay. Macavity His brow is deeply lined with thought. His head is highly doomed. His coat is dusty from neglect. His whiskers are uncombed. He saves his head from side to side with the movement like a snake. And when you think he is half asleep, he is always wide awake. So see this stanza, it explains the quality of him. So here his brow is deeply lined. So his eyebrow will be deeply lined with thought. His head is highly doomed. So his head will be shaped, doom shaped, like this it will be. His head will be doom shaped, and his brows will be very lined with thought. Now sometimes when you're thinking in your mind, your eyebrows and the forehead will be just sunk, and there will be wrinkles, the lines will be seen. So for the cat it will be, because always it will be thinking where to steal and what to steal, how to steal. This all will be running in his mind. It will be a high thinker, and it will be thinking a lot. His head is highly doomed. His head is highly doomed. His coat is dusty from neglect. So his coat is, you will be having a coat. His coat is dusty from neglect. His whiskers are uncombed. So his coat will be dusty. Sometimes it will be very dirty. Dusty means dirty. The coat, the cat's fur will be very dirty. And whiskers, it is not maintained properly. It is not combed properly. It is uncombed, and it will be up and down. It will be just, it is not in a straight way. And he saves his head. It moves his head to and fro. How a snake, the movement of a snake, you've seen a snake, how it will be moving up and to and fro, like that it will be moving and visibly, cautiously watching. So like that this cat also will be just watching. So here this line you can see that it is simile. So this line, the movement of side to side of the movement of the cat as compared to snake. So it is simile. So his brow is deeply lined with thoughts, his head is highly doomed, his coat is dusty from neglect, his whiskers are uncombed. It is not maintained properly, because it is not finding time to do that all, because it have to plan and execute the criminal works. So it is not finding time to maintain his whisker, or he have to not comb his whisker like that. It is uncombed, it is not neat. And when you think he is half asleep, sometimes you will be thinking that this Macavity is in sleep, half sleep, but he is always wide awake. We will be thinking it is sleeping, but it will be wide awake. It will be just wide and awake. It will be just watching and listening what is happening. So it is very clear, children. Okay, we will move to the next stanza. Okay. Macavity, there is no one like Macavity, for he is fanned in the fair shape, a monster of depravity. You may meet him in a by-street, you may see him in the square, but when you discover, then Macavity is not there. So here this stanza tells again the Macavity is a word repeated, so it is a repetition. And Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. This line is also repetition. It is repeated in many stanzas. And for he is find. It is of, what do you mean by find in Failen? What do you mean by fiend? And what do you mean by Failen? So your fiend means a devil. It is like a devil. For he is a fiend means he is a devil in feline shape. Feline means it is a species. It belongs to species or family of cat. A monster depravity. Depravity, what do you mean by depravity? It is a immortality. So it is immoral, always immoral, doing all immoral work. It doesn't have any moral. It is a devilish cat, and it does all the criminal work. You may meet him in by street. You may see him in the by street, or you may see him in the square on the open space. But when any criminal takes place, any criminal activity took place, this thing will not be there. The Macavity will not be in that place. You can find him in the street, by street or you can see in the open space. But when the work is done, when the criminal act is done, at that time Macavity will not be in any place. Okay children, I think it is very clear to you. We will stop here and we will continue the next stanzas in the next part. I hope you understand till this. It is very clear to you. Yeah. So, to receive our online lessons, please press the subscribe button and you will receive the latest updates. Thank you children. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.